Right, brilliant. We look at a good number and it's 1 minute past 3. We like a bit of promptness around here, so let's crack on. Hello, I'm Polly, and I've got the lovely Sarah Bassett with me today, who's going to be hot on the chat. So look at hello everybody. Oh, they've got nice things, Sarah. They've got costas and
it's nice. Yeah.
So Sarah, say hello.
Hello. My name's Sarah Bassett. Most of you, I think, actually know me, and I've been really looking forward to catching up with the High Street Task Force cohort. So it's rather nice today. It should be interesting. Still people streaming in, Polly.
Brilliant. Okay. Well, we'll keep cracking on because we've promised 45 minutes, so we won't take too long. But thank you all. Maidenhead, Cheneys, lots of Suffolk. Suffolk's my hometown. I grew up in Suffolk. There you go. I'm a Woodbridge girl. Thank you very much, Tony. Okay, let's rock and roll. So today's agenda is as follows. We're going to talk about a little bit about social media and sentiment analysis. I'm going to talk about how maybe data is used by the High Street Task Force. Then for those of you who don't know us, we're going to have a little introduction into maybe and a background to maybe. Look at some of the case studies of how different people are using maybe, and then we've got a Q&A session. But please, as we go through, do drop the questions in the Q&A. You're making me hungry with all the lovely things you're eating and drinking. So please use the chat, ask us questions, and we'll respond as we go through, but we intend to have a Q&A session at the end of this as well. So introduction to maybe social data and sentiment data. So maybe has been crunching social data for quite a while now. And the reason we do what we do is because today 66% of consumers spend 3 hours per day on social media. 52% of consumers use social media to research their purchases, but quite staggeringly, only 28% of independent businesses are active on social media. I've always said that a place is the sum of its digital parts, and we're really excited to be working with the High Street Task Force to provide that and really bring that to life. And we do that by providing, I think I've missed a slide here. No, it's there. So we believe that high streets, in order for high street to evolve, they need the new digital tools that link places, businesses and people to their communities. And bluntly, because of COVID, they need them now, and that's very much what we do. The reason we do it, as I just said, is because consumers are already in that channel. COVID has meant that people are becoming more and more digital faster than ever before. I always said that people had left the pitch with the football and businesses hadn't noticed. And that couldn't be truer now, because with businesses shut, consumers are spending more and more time on their phone screens and increasingly on social media. And if businesses and places don't have a voice, you're not part of their universe. But there are also some big positives from that as well. And we believe that by using data and connecting it to place, it gives everybody a much fairer playing field if they access those tools. So we collect the data from Twitter, Facebook and Instagram on a daily basis. And we do that based upon their Google My Business listing. So working during lockdown, we've worked with Google My Business and we've identified 2.9 million businesses in the UK. And we literally go back every night and we collect their data. We're really pleased to announce that we are also launching an initiative where we connect that with Visa and MasterCard data through Facebook Messenger. So that means that not only can we see what's being said all across the UK, we can also enable every purchase in a place to be a message in that place. And that starts to provide a set of tools that means that places, offline business can have much more of the infrastructure of online business. And we do it in a way that is reachable and affordable for everybody to be able to partake. But we know that tools are not enough. It's got to be combined with education. So our team are committed to training. Many of you may have joined our Wednesday webinars. If you haven't, please do, where we literally do a roadshow around the country and look at the best posts in place. And we look at why they're the best posts, what's making people engage with them. Because for each of you, the brand of your place is ultimately what people are saying in your place. And we provide the tools to pull all that together, enable the businesses that are already shining to shine brighter, but most importantly, help them bring along the businesses that are not yet shining or haven't yet started. Because that's how they will be able to increase revenue, and that's what makes the wheels of the whole wagon go round. So the base of our platform starts by being able to say, what does a place look like? So these are some screen grabs from the Maybe platform. And what you've got here is you can say for any 10 boundaries in the UK, what does it look like digitally? So what this means is you can literally say, I'd like to look at Stratford-upon-Avon, I'd like to look at Birmingham, I'd like to look at Walsall, you name it. You can put any place in the UK into the Maybe platform and immediately see what percentage of organisations have social media, whether they are active on social media, what their post volumes look like, what their engagement volumes look like, what the sentiment of that content is, and what's being said. So just stop and unpack that for a minute. That means all of those conversations that are happening on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram from all of your businesses in a place, you've suddenly got the power to see it and understand it. It's like a 24/7 exit survey. It's like putting your ear to the glass and understanding what's going in the room. These word clouds represent the words that are being said in the place. And we increasingly see that the more places talk about themselves, the more people turn up there. You know, if you have a dinner party and don't invite people, they don't turn up. But because we can see all of that data, this sentiment score data is really key. It means that we can look at all of the messages that are being published in that place and say, is it positive or negative and neutral? And we do that by looking at what are the words that are being used. So the artificial intelligence reads all the words in that post and then gives it a score, which means we can give every place an overall sentiment score. Can't say that word. And what we're working with the High Street Task Force is how we can blend that data with other external metrics. So within each of those lines, you've got what are the best posts in a place. And so you can really start to bring this piece to life, which is what is my place saying and how does that impact the footfall on my place. If you like, we see social media as the modern heartbeat of a place, and footfall is ultimately the end result of does it bring people to a place. So this is very much at the heart of how Maybe data is used by the High Street Task Force. And what you're seeing here are some dashboards that you'll all have access to at some point over the coming months, which uses Maybe data, our summary data, and surfaces it for every place in the UK. So you've got these summary screens, which I only go through one by one, but they basically show digital sentiment, digital participation, digital activity, digital engagement, and then you can see the best post by place. Then I'm going to go through the screens one by one, and then we'll talk about the next layer, which is how you can use Maybe to engage with this data. Have you got any questions so far? No, it's all looking pretty good. Very quiet crowd today, Sarah. Either I'm talking rubbish or they're all sitting there in stunned silence. So let's keep going. So the first cloud that we've got is digital sentiment. So this, within the High Street Task Force dashboard, lets you look at the digital conversation that independent businesses versus national businesses are having in your place. And we split that based upon businesses that only have, and that it's not just businesses, it's any organization. So it's any organization we can find on Google Maps. So it could be the public toilets, it could be the library, it could be the schools. It's all organizations within a place, not just retailers. Really important point. And the difference between locals and independents is that a local business only exists in one place, and a national business, I beg your pardon, a local business only exists in one place, and a national business exists in multiple places. The labeling on this is still in development, so it says locals and indies, but it will be locals and nationals. And what you can see here is you can see how this is good. This is the data from Stratford-upon-Avon. You can see how Stratford-upon-Avon is one of the biggest conversations in that place. Not as big as Children in Need, but this data was taken from last week. So Children in Need was, a big thing. So that's great. You can see, so there's a place supporting children in need. You can see all of these other little topics that are going on, which is a really great way to understand what is my place talking about and what conversations can I join in. Within the High Street Task Force dashboard, you can just see this data, and we'll talk about how you can engage with it through Maybe later. But this is in effect that 24/7. What is my place saying? It changes every day. You can see what's interesting here. Shop local is not a huge conversation here, but Warwickshire, Stratford-upon-Avon, that place message is really shining through. Brightling Sea Forest possibly is somebody that's really good at social within that place.
I'm rather impressed with the amount of cheese conversation. I'm only down the road from Stratford-upon-Avon, and cheesemonger, cheese. I think I might have to go and investigate.
Yeah, absolutely. It gives you a really good, it's very interesting. You start putting these conversations, local places against each other. You can start to think, well, how can we engage with that conversation? So for businesses in the place, art lovers, to join that conversation, to join that audience, think of hashtags as a signpost, Sarah, wouldn't you agree? They're great signposts. They really give you a flavour of the place. So that is your digital sentiment. So you understand, before you even open a clipboard or run a survey, remember that your place is speaking to you. And that's a really big message. Every place now has a voice. Go and listen to that voice. Now this digital participation graph shows you the volume of data that is being delivered by national organisations versus local organisations, and the line at the top is the potential number of organisations that could have a voice. So here you can see how many national organisations are publishing content versus local, and this local line really, really worries us because these are the heartbeat of the place and they're not leveraging their voice at the moment. You see it broken out by day, so you've got national, local and potential. This is the line that good looks like, and here is the line that worries us, which is the percentage of businesses that are active on social media. Then we move on to digital engagement. So this lets you see at a glance which channels people are using. This is really valuable for you if you're looking at investing in social media as a local authority. It's really a great way to start to understand where are those conversations happening. This is obviously a very top level view, and when we dive into the maybe data at a more granular level, you can start to understand what type of businesses sit within them. But this lets you see by day of week, whether it's Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram that is being used as the channel for conversation. And you can see whether it's positive, negative, or neutral. As I said at the beginning, this is done on a score, and it's based upon the aggregate conversation that is being had by the organisations in your place. It's good. And then we've got the best posts in a place. So within your place dashboard on the High Street Task Force, you'll be able to look at your best Facebook posts, best Twitter posts, and best Instagram posts. And we do that based on the number of engagements they've had on them, and engagements being shares, comments, likes. And we've built an algorithm that says actually a share out trumps a like, because a like's really easy to do. What we want is to see people investing in those posts. So it's the comments, it's the posts that have the most shares and the most comments on them that will come top of that pile. And again, that's a really good way to understand what is engaging my place and what is the conversation they're having all the time. So a little introduction to Maybe and how you can use Maybe data and tools to engage and empower. So what I've just shown you on the High Street Task Force dashboard is that summary data. It lets you see it, but you can't touch it. Within the High Street Task Force dashboard, you can link through to Maybe, and if you've got an account, you'll come straight through to your own account. If you haven't yet got one, you, as a High Street Task Force local authority, are entitled to a free account, which will enable you to do these things. So you have two options. You have a completely free High Street Task Force Engage account, which means that you can come through to Maybe, let us know, and we will set you up an account that has the data for all of your businesses within your town. Sarah has eyes peeled for town signing up, but we will jump on with you and we will create you an account that has the data for every single business accessible to you within your dashboard. Now, option 2 is you can upgrade and enable all of the businesses within your town to have access to all of the tools and training to drive sales via social media. And we'll show you how that works. So that's not working. I should do. Hold the line, minute caller, and I'll hop out of here and work out why that's not working. Why is that not working? Nomination. Oh, that might work. Let's see whether this works now. So what you all get when you jump into Maybe, here we go, is you sign up to Maybe and you have access to a dashboard that helps you understand what's working and why. It doesn't matter whether you are the smallest SME or whether you are a local authority with 6,000 businesses you're managing. You have the same view and you have the same set of tools and you can use them in different ways. So I'm going to go through this from a local authority perspective and then I'm going to flip to what it means for a business perspective. So the Maybe dashboard lets you see at a glance how social media is impacting your channels across Twitter and Facebook and Instagram in one place. And you can see on your dashboard the best content and all of your metrics versus any other area. So as a local authority, you could look at your local authority versus a neighbouring local authority, and kind of gives you an ability to look at the world through the eyes of people. Or if you're running a hashtag, for example, I'll have a little boast yesterday. I had a lovely call with Captain Tom's team, and he's just launched Walk with Tom. So he's looking at his content down the left-hand side and Walk with Tom down the right-hand side. So, you know, think of this as just a way of being able to see social data at scale really easily. You've also, from in the dashboard, got the ability to see all that summary data, so you can look at what percentage of businesses in your local authority have got a social media account, what percentage are active, and therefore, if you choose to do any intervention that enables you to help businesses become more active, because that is where the customer is, you can track and see how it improves that line. Because what good looks like for us is that we see more people with social media, and more importantly, more people active on social media. Remember, consumers are spending over 60% of their time, 3 hours a day. 66% of consumers are spending 3 hours a day on social media. If your businesses aren't there, they are missing an opportunity to sell, and particularly when their doors are shut. It is the channel that they need to remain present on if they want to be trading. And from your perspective as a place, if you want to invite people to your place, you need to understand, are the businesses talking to their customers? So from the best post in place that everybody's got access to, it provides a super simple way for you to engage with this content. So from here, you can literally like and comment any of the content within your place. Remember, all of the businesses in your place are piped in here. You don't have to go and find them on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. So your social teams have got the ability to engage with the best conversations in your place in seconds, rather than having to go and find that content. Something really special happens when you start doing this engagement at the lower end as well, which is you start to unlock the Facebook algorithm. And by engaging with content from the businesses that maybe are just starting on Facebook, you'll make it much more visible. But this best content is brand you. It's what your place is saying, and it's the content that your place wants to amplify to invite more businesses back in. So very much I'm a woman of my word. I've always said a place is the sum of its digital parts, and what we've done here is enable you to see your digital parts. So for 3,600 boundaries across the UK, you can see on a daily basis what are the best posts happening within them, and you're able to engage with them. And best, as I said, is based upon engagement. Now, this is the real magic sauce. This is all of the businesses within a place, and this is what we'll, as a High Street Task Force business, a local authority, you have this accessible to you for free. You can have an account set up, and so that you can engage with all, or not just you can both see, but you can engage with all of the businesses in your place from one screen, literally by coming through here. You can like and share if you wish to do so, or you can just understand and see what's being said. But it gives you that granular level of detail, which is what is each business saying, and gives you the ability to re-engage with them without leaving the platform. And you can see both the best posts in a tablet format, but also you can actually see where they're on the map. Great, this is great content to share. This is great content to shout out to businesses in your place. Great way to celebrate how businesses are performing by shouting out those that are doing well. And this provides inspiration for other businesses to start to get involved. Now, if we move on to everything, I should go back one. If you choose to take the option of empowering your businesses to do this, the magic sauce comes here. If you give every business this view, which is this view here, which enables all of the businesses within a town to engage with each other, something really special starts to happen. Because if they start engaging with each other's content, which is what you have the ability to do to enable them to have access to this, suddenly they all increase their reach. Now, for those 28% of businesses that act on social, these tools will make them go faster, but it also makes it really clear to those that are not engaging how they can be supported. Because the first time you start posting on social, if nobody engages with you, it's very easy to think this doesn't work. But create this environment, and suddenly you've got a place where when businesses in your town start on social media, their content gets engaged with and they continue with it. And we've got endless case studies that we'll talk at the end of this session about businesses who were not doing this, started doing it, and because other people started to engage with them, they have grown their digital wings, and now through lockdown, they are achieving extraordinary revenue numbers. And look, I know that the future of the high street is not just about revenue, but ultimately businesses survive through making sales. And social media gives them that connection point to customers, which drives sales, which at the end of the day is what makes what makes business work and makes places work. So social media is the channel through which businesses can reach customers. It's the channel through which places can reach people and understand people. And if you put them all in a bucket like this, where you put their Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram data into one view where everybody can engage with it, something amazing happens, because you set that place alight. You enable everybody to start amplifying each other's conversations. They reach more people, they get more confident digitally, and businesses start to then invest in their own digital futures. So to that end, another part of the platform that maybe delivers is enables businesses to use Facebook ads and Instagram ads in a very efficient way. Our platform uses a bit of artificial intelligence to say which ads you should turn off and which ads you should turn on. And we've got a whole range of businesses that have achieved just extraordinary results during lockdown using this tool, because it's that whole bit, Peter. If you spend, this lady here is spending £1 and getting £65 back. We've got a lady that we work with in the Cotswolds with Cotswold Council, who has now got an extra £1,000 a day because she's learned how to use Facebook ads. And that has meant that she's kept 3 stores open rather than only 1. So a little bit of tech, a little bit of learning means businesses are learning how to trade and support their supplement their offline revenue, but actually really start to use e-commerce to drive sales. But importantly, will bring people into their store as well. But this is just game changing for many businesses. Now, it's not just about the tech, as I said. What Maybe is about is providing the help and support. So within the Maybe platform, you've got access to our team full-time during office hours. We've got a team that all they do is literally respond to questions. And it's not just how do I do this thing. It's also how do I do social media. So it's not just about support for using the Maybe platform. It's support around where do I start? Where's the on button? We start from literally, how do I start on Twitter? How do I start on Instagram? To something complex like how do I build a layered audience on Facebook? We understand, because of the work we've done over the last 4 or 5 years in the high street, that the learning curve is extraordinary. You know, you've got 72% of businesses not using social media at all, but once they start, they suddenly need a different level of support very quickly. So we've worked very hard to build not only the data, but the tools that mean businesses get supported on every step of their journey. So whether you're just starting out or whether you want to know how to do something complex, we've got the training and the data to help you do it better. A piece that we're really excited about right now is our local rewards that we've added to the platform. This connects every place's Visa and MasterCard transactions with their offline transactions. It means that businesses can come in and create a reward so that when a purchase happens in your town, businesses can talk to people based upon what they've put within the Maybe platform. So in this example, somebody has made a purchase in Cheltenham with a registered retailer. The shopper immediately gets a message through Facebook Messenger. Remember, 70% of people who've got Facebook Messenger good to visit Visa and debit cards, and so we're not using any apps or any new tech. By using those existing things, it means that places can enable businesses to talk to customers in real time, and that customers can find new businesses nearby. And a byproduct of this means that we've got a directory for every town in the UK based upon their existing Google My Business and Instagram data, which we'll be sharing with everybody over the coming weeks. It's extraordinary. It means that literally everywhere has got a directory. And I know there's so much work going in right now to create directories for places that it's really hard because they're not up to date. And we believe we've cracked the magic sauce to enable every transaction to basically fire a live directory in every place in the UK, and enable that business to communicate with that customer in real time. And we think that really begins to unlock a lot of the high street. And then, of course, all of that data falls back into our insights piece, so you can understand what's the sentiment and what's going on. Importantly, using Google Maps, that means you can not only see the transactions, but you can also link to where that store is. So we're hoping that it starts to provide that agile infrastructure that places need to be able to be more Amazon, if you like, but actually but to have that personality and place and ability to communicate that so far has only been available to online businesses. You know, we want to make sure that every place has got the ability to deliver that digital infrastructure. We have that through our dashboards, and if you like, this is the final touch point, which is how we turn enable you to communicate with consumers in a place and when they're in that place, and understand what they're saying. So Local Rewards is a module on the main platform that turns every in-store sale into a hyper-local communication. And importantly enables places to own their audience, and businesses within that place to be able to talk to that audience, because that's what makes people make places work, right? And if you can't invite them back in, it's very hard. So from a case study perspective, we're very clear about how we deliver this. So for 28% of businesses that are already active on social media, we provide the tools and training to help them go faster. We want them to get even better at what they're doing, and we share their successes so others can follow in their footsteps. So if you come and join us on a Wednesday webinar, you'll see how we really showcase businesses that are the best businesses in that place. And it's those stories that we then break down into 10 steps that enable the 72% of businesses that are not active on social media to A, understand why they should be, and B, help them get there fast. Because if you haven't done this yet as a business, you haven't done it for a reason. It's either because you can't or we don't think it matters. And from your place's perspective, the more businesses that are not active on social media, the harder it is for you to attract people into your place. So we believe this is really intrinsically linked to placemaking and ultimately intrinsically linked to footfall, which is one of the slides. I think I missed a slide somewhere back on the High Street Task Force piece, which is that we've linked all of this data about the High Street to the footfall data as well. Apology, my button seems to be sticky and I'm jumping slides. Very frustrating. So we take the businesses that are doing things well and showcase those to the businesses that have not yet started and help them do that too. But importantly, we do that in a way that says, if you don't know where to start on Twitter, let us show you how to do it. And we have one member of our team who literally does a webinar every single day at 12 o'clock that says, this is where you get started on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram. And this is how you do a story, and literally takes people step by step. And if you do that, they start to learn really quickly because they're learning together. So it's saying it's my Q&A. Oh, there we go. There are 3 key components to what we do. Lots of support. It's all about support. It's not just about the tech. And we provide a business campaign and a shopper campaign to help places glue themselves to the customer who's increasingly sat in that digital channel. And we want to ensure that they are reconnected with your place and your businesses within your place. And we do that by taking away as much of the pain as possible by providing the tools and the training to make that happen. And we're thrilled to have that summary data on the High Street Task Force dashboard. As I say, please, if you haven't yet got a Maybe account, drop us a message and we'll get you one set up. And I think we're at the Q&A, so I'd love to have some questions. I've skipped another slide. There's something weird going on here. So we're going to climb back through the deck. Something weird going on here. Here we go. Case studies. I haven't done this one yet, Sarah, have I?
No.
No.
I haven't. I have been concentrating.
There's something going wrong with the buttons here. So does it work? Yeah, absolutely it works. If you look at businesses like, I don't know, let's take Gymshark. Gymshark is extraordinary. 8 years ago, it was an SME. It's now $1 billion business, and it's done that through social media. Now, we're not all going to, and not every business is going to be a Gymshark, but every place and every business we work with that starts to really get serious about social media all see very different things start to happen. But fundamentally, by connecting with people and understanding people, you do better business. Remember, whatever your place is saying, whatever your business is saying is impacting somebody right now. During the course of this webinar, there have been conversations that have an impact on your place. And if you don't know what they are and you haven't got a policy for engaging with them, you're missing the fabric of your place. Now, these businesses that we've case studied here, and a shopping centre and a beard, they have really started to embrace social media and they're seeing it impact business metrics. The lady at the bottom who got a 94% increase in her sales via social media, she actually enabled, but through place sentiment, she, at the beginning of lockdown 1, she thought she should stop doing everything within a place and within her store because it was lockdown. She noticed that the sentiment around her conversation in her town, around her conversation, all she did was engage with it using the Maybe platform, and that enabled her to turn her social media back on. She ended up selling more shoes during lockdown 1 than she sold in the previous months, and in lockdown 2 she's just actually delivered £50,000 worth of sales in 6 hours. on the first day of lockdown. Now, that means that as a business, she will remain in Cheltenham after lockdown. It means that her Christmas has come early. She as a person is going around teaching other businesses to do that in Cheltenham. But 3 years ago, she couldn't do this. 3 years ago, we started working with her and she didn't know how to do it and she didn't think it was relevant. She's now got it. And as a business, she is secure in Cheltenham. She's helping other businesses be secure in Cheltenham. And that means that as a local authority, as a bid, if you can turn on the businesses that you are working with and you can help them understand why social media matters, you will have a better place. I can't be more brutal than that. You know, the change that happens with businesses once they start to see how to use social to connect with people is extraordinary, and the power it has for your place, I can't begin to articulate. So think of it as in many ways, it's a tool for you to understand much more about your place. It's a tool for you to understand what organisations in your place are saying. You have free access to the Maybe platform for you as a local authority to be able to engage and understand that conversation. And if you would like to empower your businesses to learn how to do this better, which will have a significant financial impact on your place, please get in touch, because that's what we do. Is how do we turn on your business at scale?